Hi Bill, it's Bree here with Northland Marketing. As promised, I just want to go ahead and record you a quick video auditing your website, some of the companies in the area, and kind of what we could help you with your website and SEO. So starting with your site, I do think on the computer it looks a little bit outdated, kind of how it's like shrunken just to this little area. And normally, the menus will be up at the top. But I do think, especially if this is a site you created, you did a great job and it's functioning and kind of at the moment it's doing what it needs to do. I just think, like I said, there's room for improvement. So looking at your site, right off the bat, it talks about where you serve, your phone number, a little bit about your company, how to get in touch, and then kind of like your accreditation. So on your homepage, there are some things you really do want to include. For starters, you want to have your services. You want to talk about the services you offer and kind of have a page for each one that you can click to and read more. For SEO purposes, you want to have about 1,500 words on there, and this is going to be for two reasons. So the first reason being is Google has these crawlers and they come through and they read the content. And they try to figure out what areas you serve and what services you offer. The more content you have on there, the more you're going to look like an expert in Google's eyes. In addition to this, you want to beat out the competitors. So if the competitors had 1,000 words and you want to have 1,500 and so on. And then within this content, you want to have keywords. And keywords are things that people would be searching for when they're trying to find you. Like, for example, if someone was searching for lawn care company North Haven and you had lawn care company North Haven right here and like all over your site, you're going to be really relevant for that keyword and Google's going to be willing to put you higher up at the top. One of the other things you really want to have on your home page is like a testimonial section showing your good reviews. And this is like a good start of showing your accreditations, but showing your good reviews and kind of like why you're a trustworthy company, etc. So those are kind of the main things I would recommend for the site. Is we want more content, we want keywords within the content, we want specific service pages, maybe a little bit more of a modern design, etc. Now, if we did a Google search for lawn care company North Haven CT, the first three things that pop up are the Google business profile. And one of the main ways you can get yourself ranking within the Google business profile, or I should say the three main ways you can get yourself ranking, is one, by having one, two, by filling it out as much as possible, name, address, phone number, reviews, photos, like putting your holiday hours. You can post to this thing just like you can social media. So really interacting with the profile as much as possible. And then lastly, by putting your name, address, and phone number in online directories. This is like Yelp or Yellow Pages. Having these online profiles really helps to make proof of you online, and it'll link back to both the website and the Google business profile, but mainly to the Google business profile and to help that rank better. And just note the amount of reviews these guys have. We want to make sure that you beat out their reviews. So Lorenzo's is doing a pretty good job. They're ranking both in the Google business profile and the websites below first. So let's take a look at their website. Okay, so first thing I noticed is that their logo is kind of hard. It's because of transparent, it's making it a little bit hard for me to read. I do think the layout of their site, do your dreams garden together. So I definitely think their site could use some improvement. However, they were one of the top ranking companies, so we're just checking it out. Okay, so it talks a little bit about them, their work. Oh, another thing is you really want to have photos of your work all over, especially on the homepage. So they are doing a good job with that. Text is pretty hard to read. They do have their services front and center. Some more photos. Before and after photos are great to have. People tend to love that. Gallery. Get in touch. Okay. So, I mean, the website's not the best one I've ever seen. However, that are doing some things well, and let's take a further look into their website. So this is Ahrefs. This is a paid program we use to research websites and kind of get a look at the back end of the site. One of the first things we look at is the UR and DR ratings. These numbers are really important to where you fall within the Google search results. A UR rating is essentially a trust rating with Google. A DR rating is essentially a power rating with Google. And one of the main ways you can raise these numbers is through something called a backlink. Essentially, a backlink is kind of like a link back from another website or a brand endorsement. If you had another website and they said, hey everyone, just go ahead and check out Lorenzo's website, they're the best landscaping company ever, and they had a link back to Lorenzo's website, that would be a backlink. What's cool about this software is we can click on this, go through the links that they have, these endorsements that they have, and go ahead and attain those for your company. And then lastly, and most importantly, I want to talk about the organic keywords. So these are the keywords within the content that I was talking about before. For example, lawn care New Haven, there's approximately 200 people who are Googling this per month. New Haven lawn care, there's approximately 300 people that are Googling this per month. It looks like those are the main two keywords that they are targeting. There's probably a lot more out there for New Haven, especially because you serve other towns. But it looks like these are the two main keywords that they're targeting. Now, if we took a look at your website's ratings, we'll see you have a little bit going on. I can see there's an error here. So that's something that would need to be resolved there. And then these numbers are generally pretty low. The good news is Lorenzo's website numbers weren't much better, so it's not like you would need a crazy amount of power to beat out Lorenzo's, and it looks like you already have more backlinks. So we would just need to do a little bit of work to get the website power rating up, and like I said, probably rebuild the website to kind of beat out the content, get the keywords on there, etc. And if we look at your organic keywords, there are two that show up, lawn care New Haven CT and lawn care Newtown CT. So that's good. There are two keywords that your website is being picked up for, but like I said, there's probably a lot more keywords, and especially for the other towns as well as North Haven. We want to add content to the website, get keywords within the content, boost up the power of the website, get some of those missing things on there, and this should really help quite a bit. So thanks so much for taking a look at this video, and I'll talk to you on Friday. Take care.